One old money family owns a mansion, but still argues about the roof. Another controls the company that created its fortune, although no relative runs it. A third gave wealth to a foundation, making the name more powerful and descendants less free to spend. All are old money. Different machines survive time. Old money means a family has been wealthy for generations, but property, control, relationships, and expectations travel with cash. Here are 10 types, classified by the system doing most work. Real families overlap. What keeps them powerful after the fortune maker is gone? The estate family keeps its identity attached to a place. The anchor may be farmland, apartment blocks, a country house, or a collection older than the current heirs. Family events happen there. Selling it feels less like a transaction and more like deleting a chapter of the surname. But a grand property can be valuable without being generous. Roofs leak, land produces uneven income, and beautiful objects do not volunteer to pay insurance. The family wants continuity, physical proof that the lineage existed. Yet the asset preserving the name may consume the cash needed to preserve the asset. The estate family does not simply inherit a home. It inherits a very expensive ancestor. The company family still owns the engine that made the money. Its wealth sits in voting shares of an operating business. The surname may appear on the building, or disappear while the family keeps control through the board. This family eventually faces a brutal distinction. Being born an owner does not make someone qualified to be chief executive. The International Finance Corporation describes how family businesses can grow from a founder, to a sibling partnership, to a cousin confederation. More relatives bring more opinions about jobs, dividends, leadership, and risk. The company family survives when it can tell a relative, "You own part of this, but you do not automatically get to run it." Shared control is its greatest asset and its greatest threat. The trust family separated enjoying the wealth from controlling it. Under a trustee generally holds legal title and administers assets for beneficiaries according to the agreement. In plain English, an ancestor can write rules that continue speaking after the funeral. Those rules may decide when money is distributed, who makes decisions, and what the wealth supports. An heir may receive education, income, or housing without being able to empty the vault on a Tuesday. The structure can protect assets from impulsive decisions, conflict, or fragmented ownership, though its effects depend on the document and jurisdiction. This heir has privileges most people will never receive, and may have less control than outsiders assume. The trust family inherits wealth with parental controls still switched on. The society family's strongest asset never appears on a balance sheet. It holds introductions, schools, clubs, professional networks, invitations, and the quiet knowledge of which door opens after the public entrance closes. Research on social mobility finds that family background can matter through education and connections as well as direct inheritance. Recognition happens inside the network. A call is returned because another call was returned 20 years earlier. But social capital must be renewed through trust, usefulness, and restraint. Abuse it too often, and the famous surname becomes a warning label. The society family may not own the room. It owns the seating chart. The portfolio family no longer needs the original business. An earlier generation sold the factory, shipping company, or newspaper. Instead of preserving one machine, the family spread the proceeds across markets, private investments, property, and cash. The fortune becomes less visible and less dependent on one industry. There may be no headquarters and no product bearing the family name. The wealth lives in statements, entities, and allocation meetings. Diversification can improve durability, but it weakens identity. A company gives heirs a common mission. A portfolio gives them quarterly reports and a polite argument about risk. This family escaped dependence on one business. Now it must prove that money alone can keep a family organized. The foundation family converted private wealth into a public mission. Its name may sit on scholarships, hospitals, museums, or research grants, preserving reputation after the original business disappears. At family meetings, the decision is no longer, "What should we buy?" but "Which mission should carry our name?" Foundation money is not a family spending account. Us private foundations face rules against self-dealing, public filings, and charitable distributions. The capital can remain associated with the surname while being committed beyond the descendants. Whether the motive is generosity, reputation, conviction, or all three, the contradiction remains. Giving wealth away can make a dynasty more visible. The foundation family keeps the name alive by making the fortune serve strangers. The political family converts a surname into recurring access to public power. Money can fund the education, time, networks, and visibility needed to enter politics. But the inheritance also includes donor relationships, staff knowledge, name recognition, and voters who already know how to pronounce the candidate. An Inber study of the United States found that holding power longer increased the chance that a politician would begin or continue a political dynasty. Office can help produce the conditions for another relative to seek office. The motive may be service, influence, ideology, or family identity. The democratic contradiction is that voters still choose, but some surnames arrive with an infrastructure already assembled. It does not pass down a seat. It passes down a shorter route to the seat. The family office family built a private organization to manage the family itself. The office may coordinate investments, records, taxes, estates, and philanthropy. The problems created when one family becomes a small economy. Under the US Securities and Exchange Commission's rule, an excluded single-family office must advise only family clients, remain family-owned and controlled, and not advertise itself as an investment advisor. Behind that definition is a human scene. Professionals prepare the reports while cousins debate who receives information, who speaks for the group, and whose special request deserves an exception. Coordination becomes bureaucracy. A structure designed to simplify wealth can become a private government. The family office turns inheritance into an institution with an inbox. The reinvented family survives by refusing to preserve everything. It may sell the ancestral house, hire an outsider to run the company, end an unprofitable tradition, or enter an industry the founder would not recognize. To observers, this looks like betrayal. To the balance sheet, it looks like oxygen. Continuity of purpose does not require continuity of method. The deeper inheritance is the ability to make decisions before circumstances make them instead. Change too completely, however, and the family may keep the wealth while losing any shared reason to remain an enterprise. The reinvented family performs the strangest old money trick. It protects tradition by behaving like new money. The fading name family inherited the symbols after the system stopped working. The house may be divided. The company may be gone. The trust may be too small for the number of beneficiaries. Each generation receives a thinner slice while the expected lifestyle remains full size. Nothing dramatic must happen. Wealth can disappear through ordinary arithmetic. Spending, taxes, failed investments, fragmented ownership, neglected assets, and too many people treating capital as income. Preservation becomes performance. The family keeps the stories, photographs, and introductions because those are cheaper than rebuilding the fortune. The name may become most important when the money behind it matters least. This is an old family, but no longer an old fortune. Old money is not a clothing style, a beige palette, or the ability to look bored near a horse. It is a relay race built around 4 questions. What holds the wealth? Who controls it? What travels besides money? And what must change so something worth inheriting remains? No system wins every contest. Estates preserve identity but demand cash. Companies preserve control but concentrate risk. Portfolios survive industry change but weaken shared purpose. Trusts restrain heirs, but old rules meet a new world. Networks open doors, until trust disappears. Strong families are hybrids because each system protects against a different failure. New money proves that someone built a fortune. Old money proves that a family built a system. And every system eventually meets a generation it was not designed for. To identify the dominant type, watch a crisis. What gets protected first? The place, company, capital, rules, mission, or name? Which would you protect? Put your answer in the comments, and name the weakness that could destroy it. Next time, we examine the mirror image. People who build the appearance of wealth before the balance sheet agrees. Subscribe if you want that field guide.